Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Conn'Cast Podcast. I am Fintum as always, and today I'm joined with my good friend Anthony Benham.
How you guys? You alright?
Yeah, good. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've got to say as well, you can look at the camera. Sometimes I don't tell my guests that, and they just kind of like look at me, and I'm like,
I'll do a bit of both.
Yeah, it's natural. But so Anthony, we've kept in contact our whole lives, I think. Like
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'd say, like, obviously you're friends with Connor, which is quite cool at one point.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I've known the kids since since we were 4.
Yeah.
I think I probably knew you when you were born, to be honest.
Yeah.
Roughly,
You probably would have been, to be fair.
Yeah,
If you said preschool. And
primary school, preschool, and then like secondary, so...
You're only 4 years older than me, so like literally you would have known me before I was even born.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have known me.
Yeah.
But so we've got Anthony with me today, and we're just going to talk about anything you want to, really. Just it's all about opening up, talking about mental health. So is there any way you want to start, really, Anthony? Like,
I think, like I said to you about coming on the show and stuff, the sort of discussions I wanted to have was about kind of the beginning of my journey of stopping being a skeptic of mental health.
Yes.
In a way, to begin with, I would say my early teens to early 20s sort of things, I was more of a skeptic of, mental health's not really an issue for me. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
Nothing bad has ever really gone along, like, in my life. If I feel sad, I'm going to go do something happy. Or if I feel down, I'm going to go do something like that.
Smooth sailing sort of thing. Yeah.
But then, reality does eventually hit.
Mm-hmm.
And over the next few years after that sort of thing, I had multiple things going on in my life. Obviously,
right, yeah.
A loss of a family member, a loss of a good friend, obviously, Connor, and my friends, losing his sister, that hit home as well for people.
Yes.
It was just, a couple years of pure, just downhill stuff, which...
Yeah.
But, humbled me to the ground. Which really opened my eyes and brought to the forefront. This is a thing. I should pay attention to it. And what can I do to sort of help people in that as well?
Would you say it's kind of all at once as well? All of that crap just...
Oh yeah, they say things come in threes. I had way more than 3.
It's threes, it was 3s, 6s,
all
9s.
in once. It was just... You kind of wake up every day over that time period, like, what's going to happen today? What's next? What else is going to get thrown at me? But having people around me and some sort of coping mechanisms at the time with
100%,
like going out and hobbies and just being with people that cared, kind of pulled me through it. But it still doesn't set the fact of me changing my mind, sort of thing, on the standpoint 100%.
of it. I just thought actually it's quite a good opportunity of you to talk about this, because most people didn't know my brother, and I feel like when I know someone that knew my brother, and it is literally called the Conn'Cast, it's quite a good opportunity to speak to you about Connor, and like if you're happy to. I was going to talk about like when it happened with Connor, like what was your experiences around then and stuff.
I mean,
you remember the day probably very vividly.
Yeah, it was. I believe I was at work. I wouldn't say I remember it vividly.
No.
I know the feelings and the emotions of it and stuff. Our mutual friends. Who both like me and Connor had both gone to school with through and stuff, was the one who informed me.
Of what happened.
Of Connor's passing and stuff, and I do remember. I broke down drastically. I got sent home from the rest of the day at work, because even though we weren't, don't see each other every day, didn't talk to each other every day, it's someone who I had known for pretty much my whole life. It was someone who I did still keep in contact with. Whenever I did see him, it was great, catch up, have a laugh. But losing him at that point, it it really hit home hard. I mean, around the same sort of time, I lost my grandfather as well, so it was a lot of loss.
I didn't even know that.
So he went. It was just those sort of, that time period was
just a collateral of stuff,
loads of different stuff.
I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't even know, but
it's fine. But I've pulled through. With, like I said, with the health and stuff.
100%. So after that, obviously, this must have been around Connor passed in 2019, so it's around that sort of time. So that was kind of when things really took a hit, I'm guessing, around then.
I mean, so what is it? The granddad passed quite a few years, a couple of years before that, which was the first, I would say, stepping stone. It was the first real loss I'd ever had in the family. That I could remember. But yeah, so you had obviously Connor's thing, trouble and stuff in my life, both personal and professional. It was around that sort of time. The other help didn't help when we had, I would say, the lockdown.
It's a big one.
I know a lot of people bring it up, but
it's a big one.
So many people differently.
We need to talk about it constantly because it does. Like, it hits people differently, like you say. People have had it in different stages, at different ways, and so like, how was that with you? Really?
I mean, it was okay for myself. I was more worried about the situation I was in at my home. I was living with my dad at the time.
Right,
Was quite vulnerable, and obviously I was still going to and from work.
Oh, were you still working then?
I was still working, there was obviously all the safety restrictions and stuff were in place. It wasn't anything illegal.
Just want to put out there,
still
guys.
Working fine. But it's still more of the fact of what if I do catch it on my way there, or something happens at work or whatever, and then I've got to go home to her, and it wasn't great like that. And then when eventually we did get completely like fully, no, you've got to stay indoors and stuff. As much as I love my nan, it's 6 weeks locked in the same room doing the same thing over and over again. I don't think it would have mattered who I was in those.
It would have been.
It's just
thinking like,
and then it's just then kind of the repercussions are.
Yeah.
As everyone starts phasing back in what is allowed, what isn't allowed.
Yeah.
And then even more further on, I would say that kind of where we are now is a lot of things have still changed from that time period. It's I don't know if I fully understand the full effects of what we've had from it, but there are some things that have happened where it's like people see and interact with people differently now. I would say there's a lot less, or even like emotional touch. Like it's I get a hug from you most of the time every time I see it, but there's a lot of people I won't do that to or anything, or a lot of people that won't give that back. I know I'm not saying I want to hug every time, but
but it's true. And
I think it's a lot less people have got.
The world's changed massively since then.
That 2 meter rule is not kind of gone away, I don't think.
It's still kind of, people are still like, the whole world's changed. That's one thing we haven't mentioned in this podcast, about how the whole world changed. I think it's changed me
drastically. Like, I can't speak for the whole world because I've seen it.
Just me and you,
For myself, and I would say a lot of people around me can see it's not the same as it was before.
No,
but
no. I think the attitude towards mental health changed a lot because of lockdown as well.
For
me personally,
it has exploded. In the time, which is a fantastic thing.
It's good.
It's great. More people need to obviously be aware of it.
Support and awareness.
Hence all of this.
That's why Anthony's here.
But
you said
this is good.
Yeah. It's talking about like lockdown and obviously like we're talking about mental health and stuff, but you said you were a skeptic of mental health before.
I was
just to brush on that again. Sorry. So like, you just kind of think stuff like, it's never affected me before. And you're like, whoa, here we are. This is all
precisely.
Happened.
It was I don't like to say I had the easiest of life and like I wouldn't say I had enough bad stuff happen to me in the time period before that. That I thought it was just a myth or like it doesn't affect me, it doesn't bother me, I don't care.
Completely understandable.
Until I saw it happen to some of my friends, stuff happened to some family members and then myself. Then I can't, there's proof in the pudding. I can't not. It really did open my eyes, and I have such more of appreciation for it now.
Obviously you've seen like Connor and other people that have had that been themselves and their families been affected by mental health. How does it kind of affect you during this time? When it said it affected you after that, was it kind of like dealing with loss and also like
I would say it really humbled me as a person, and I take a lot more time to think about problems I have. I'm not the best of coping with them. I'm definitely not, and some of the choices I make on how to cope with them is not the greatest. But I'm learning. I'm getting a lot better than I was at the time. I was wild at the time, let's say. So I feel like I've calmed and tamed down that way. But it is, it's affected me in lots of different ways. I'd say how I approach and talk to people who I don't know is completely different now than what I would have done before.
That's interesting.
It's more... I think before I would impose myself on you, where it's more now I want you to open up and tell me more about yourself so I can adapt and tailor my response and stuff to you instead.
How interesting. So you kind of like, if you went into like a room, you'd be kind of like trying to like impose yourself. That's how you work.
I'm here, this is me, I'm on the forefront. What happens to you doesn't matter, it's all about me, sort of thing.
Wow.
But then it's you get more of appreciation for other people.
That's interesting. Was that because of anything to do with like, because I like with me of lockdown, I've said this in every single episode, but I kind of like you lose the social interaction, and I kind of like changed a little bit because of that. I felt a bit more anxious about seeing people, but kind of maybe, or just in general.
I would say like a kind of loss of confidence in a way, but also the fact of you kind of appreciate people more because you've not seen them properly. You know, you've not had the actual face-to-face interaction and stuff. Exactly. You know, you become. You appreciate them more. You kind of take it for granted when you see them every day and all that sort of thing. But then once something like that happens, or you see them in a different light, then
amazing. So with all of this, like the mental health, what you went through, etc., like, you know, from obviously Connor and obviously other family members and other people, mental health started affecting you, and you realised like, I was a skeptic before, but it's actually affecting me. What did you kind of do after that when it affected you personally? How did you kind of deal with mental health from there?
So I did try a few things. I went to my doctor. I was prescribed like antidepressants.
Nice.
Was on them for a while. I did. I don't want to say hate myself, but felt a bit worse for doing that. I like I couldn't. I felt like I needed to. I didn't want to rely on something, you know. I felt there needs to be a way for me to flick that switch in my head and not have to rely on these sort of things. So, came off those for a while, and spent some time just kind of pressing on, tracking on. Eventually, I did start going to therapy, both group and then on to single face-to-face therapy.
I think you're okay to mention them, by the way. I think we're okay to.
So,
I will ask them.
So I went to Mentalk, which is in Sitterbourne. It's run by an amazing guy called Jason. He offers obviously the groups on Tuesdays
cool.
at the Trinity Church in Sitterbourne, but they do also offer face-to-face, one-to-one.
What time is it? Is it 6:30?
7:30, I believe it is. 7:30.
We'll check it.
Check it.
I'll plug it in. I'll put it in the description. 100%, man.
They're great. 7:30, I believe it is. Yeah, Trinity Church.
Yeah.
It's just a group of amazing guys who all have different sort of struggles, and that you discuss it with everyone. And it gives you a big different perspectives from everyone. You know, you can kind of relate to some things and also understand others, and then you know they give you advice and help and stuff.
Did you go on? Did you go on yourself? So did you just go on your own accord?
Yes and no. There was a catalyst for it. I'd rather not mention it if that's cool, but
absolutely fine.
I did go myself. I took myself to it.
Good,
and stuff like that. But there was some reasoning and that behind it.
Nice. I'm so proud of you for doing that, because I've never gone there, and I know about what you're doing in Sittingbourne. No, you're the first person that I've known that has gone to one Sittingbourne, and for me personally, I was actually quite interested to know what it's like. So as Anthony said, they're good. So I will ask if they want to be mentioned. But I'll definitely link it just because we've spoken about it. Yeah, so you started doing that sort of stuff. And was it just a straight up things got better?
No,
never like that, definitely. Is it?
It's never the steady incline you think.
No. Interesting, yeah.
It kind of brought me up again and kind of leveled me back out from where I was down at the time.
Yeah, nice.
And then it gave me tools to kind of keep that ship steady, you know, keep that line steady. And if it does start to dip, what I can do to pull it back up again, sort of thing, which has been fantastic, and I'm happy to say that I'm on a nice steady line at the moment. No declines just yet.
Which is good.
So
Did it kind of give you like the fundamentals to, like, if things did go south, you could then, do you reckon?
It was more of, here's your problem that you've got. How do you need to deal with it, and how do you want to deal with it, and then kind of trying to pick apart each side of that and put them together.
That's really good.
There was a strategy called was it Dreamer, Realistic, and like Believer or something like that.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is, but you basically take whatever your problem is and you can bounce it back and forth between the two till you've got a number of solutions.
Wow.
So yeah, for example,
that's wicked.
If your work's going terrible, you know, what do I need to do to it? Change job. How do I need to do to it? Do this. When am I going to do it? Now.
That's so good.
How am I going to do it this way?
Oh my.
So you kind of pick apart your own problems. It's the way I found that it helps me.
I might start doing that. That's a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's why it helped me out. So.
Yeah. 100%. That's really cool. Because I've never. Sometimes when you have like a problem, your brain's a bad place. Sometimes it's like it makes you want to do different things. Like it just doesn't always make sense, does it? When you have a problem, you kind of just go spinning around in circles. That's really good. It kind of just like, would you write it down sometimes?
Yeah. One of the things at these like sessions that I had was to put actually the problem on the floor on a piece of paper and then the different sections on a piece of paper.
Nice.
And just step between it and actually do something physical with it because you kind of remember it more as well. I know writing it down for some people does.
That's so good.
But yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Step back, forth, right, this is what I've got to do now.
Yeah,
This is how I'm going to do it. This is when I'm going to do it. And yeah.
I'm going to start using it. I'm not joking. Like,
No,
that's
yeah,
that is so good. And I'm hoping that people listening to that will be like, give that a go as well. Yeah. If there's anything else... Yeah, no, you're going to say something.
No, it's some words of wisdom, yeah.
It is very much words of wisdom, and if there's anything else that you could think of that helped you, then like, you know, please do say. But was that kind of the main sort of things that have helped you?
It was one of the main things, yeah, because I had the problem of overthinking things all the time, so there was a way to simplify it and just get to the root of everything. Yeah. Which, thankfully, is most of my problem.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I think the only other thing I would say I had as like a decent coping mechanism was to actually embrace the bad days.
Oh, okay.
Because if you can get through the bad days, it makes the good days taste even sweeter. Because you've got through the rubbish first.
That. And it kind of makes you, like you say, it makes you feel more grateful because you've embraced the bad days. Yeah. You're like, this is a really good day, and you feel grateful for it. So is that kind of, when you have a bad day, is it like you kind of say to yourself, I'm going to take this in because I know there's a better day ahead?
Kind of take it in, but also, it sounds really weird in a way.
No.
Make it worse on myself.
Yeah. Okay. So
if I'm down and I'm annoyed at something, find something else to be annoyed at again. So,
oh wow, really?
Just to really just sink it in that
just drink it in and go like, this is a bad day.
Pretty much, because then any day that then is an easy day is even easier.
I like that mindset.
Harder days. It's kind of the work hard, play hard sort of thing.
I like that mindset actually, because it's when you have a really, really, really bad day, make it worse yourself. Then you have a good day, it's even better because you've embraced that really, really bad day. That's amazing, man. Yeah. Honestly, I should probably go to these sessions and stuff because they are
decently good.
Wow, that's cracking. So yeah, I mean, outside of like any therapy and stuff, was there anything like hobbies, for example, or anything you did? Like, I go to the gym, so that's a big outlet for me.
Yeah.
Anything like that?
I would have liked to start the gym. I've dabbled for years, but I can't bring myself to do it consistently enough.
Yeah, I'm not people.
So no, I to be honest, I took up Warhammer. I started painting miniature figures.
Oh, that's wicked! So,
it's I know it's quite nerdy and stuff, but it's very therapeutic, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, you have them on shelves and stuff, and Warhammer's wicked. Yeah,
little glass cabinet.
Yeah, that's cracking. Yeah,
it's really good.
No,
for me, it gets me to zone out for a few hours and stuff, but then it also gives me another social aspect as well, because I've got a group of friends who do it as well.
And so everyone's just in on that. I love that. It's actually, that's a really, really good thing you picked up on personally for me, because I feel like it's like a distraction sometimes. And I'm not saying if you have bad mental health you should make distractions, but it's something that makes you happy as well, and that's a really good thing. Like obviously with Connor, and even me actually, we both like gaming quite a lot. It's a similar sort of aspect that like you have your social circle, you make friends from that. He won't mind me mentioning him because he's actually coming on in a few weeks' time or whenever, but Connor's friend Ibra will be coming on, and they met over PlayStation. So I'm guessing you pretty much...
I think we played in, I think maybe the first or second tournament together. Yes, I remember Ibra.
Do you remember him? Yeah, he played on the Conquerors.
Yeah.
On your Conquerors, yes, he did. He might have played on your team last year, actually. But maybe.
Ooh. Yeah, he might have. He might have done.
Or maybe he didn't. I can't remember. But either way, don't matter. But yeah, they literally met over PlayStation. I think it was COD. I'm pretty sure. So like, you probably got your own friends in Warhammer. Were they people like you didn't know before? As well?
No, it was kind of we all kind of grouped together. Yeah. But they're running. I have then made other friends from it and stuff. Like I've got two guys that are from up north. So and then
that's so good.
One guy in Nottingham and stuff like that. So there's people all over the place.
Yeah, it's just something that you're passionate about that makes you happy.
Yeah,
and that's
and
so
it is,
important.
Like you said, it's a distraction, which is not always the greatest thing, but it is. You do need a little switch off from reality every now and then. Which is, everyone has their vices. You've got gaming, like you said.
Gaming, like I said,
paint stuff.
Yeah.
People, draw.
100%. There's so many things. So yeah, really good. Yeah. So as we were saying, Anthony, we definitely didn't have a 20-minute break just now. We definitely didn't. You said you wanted to speak about, if you remember, the other... What was it you wanted to talk about? Sorry, it was like a different remedy helping
it was
method.
more just like another method that I kind of did myself. I didn't ever really get told about it, but I thought it kind of works out. And I'm hoping it works out. We'll see how it goes. But
100%, yeah.
I was quite down. It wasn't that long ago, about a month ago or so. So I decided to write myself a letter in future tense. But kind of like as if I was writing from the future.
Wow, okay. Yeah, so pretending that it was you.
Already achieved, so writing down where I am at the moment, what's going wrong, what the situation is, and then
oh my, it is so
what
good.
I want to do in the future, and if I have achieved it or not. So I've hidden it somewhere, and I don't want to touch it for ages and stuff.
And you probably forget about what you said.
Forget about it. Forget about the letter altogether, and hopefully find it one day, and then be like, oh, wow, this is what it was like, and this is where I'm at now, sort of thing. Hopefully
that is
better.
So good.
It might help someone to.
I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Pick out some things that you know are wrong. Obviously, if you write it down and stuff, it makes it real. But then if you can hide it away, it might give you that motivation to think, I'm going to prove that letter wrong.
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
It's almost like you've made a promise to yourself as well by writing it down.
Yeah.
That you're going to be this, and you're basically signing yourself away, saying, I need to be where I put that letter.
But I thought it was really important to put where I'm currently at the beginning, so you have that comparison.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. And you can look back on it, and you will in that however many years time. You'll find it and go, oh wow, what's this?
Well, this is what my life was like.
And, look at me now. Yeah. I've achieved that all, and this is where I am. That is so good, Anthony. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I think you guys should as well. If you're watching,
write your lessons.
Listening, 100%. That is really good. I need some mechanisms. I think I need to start you're getting little tips off you, because that is really, really, really cool. Yeah. So was that kind of, other than that, was that kind of what you wanted to talk about in this episode at the moment?
Mainly, yeah. Obviously, I just want to promote the podcast itself and promote Finn, because he's amazing. I've known him most of his life, and
I appreciate it so much.
And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't because of him, and the work he's done. I
really appreciate it. Like you say, because you just don't know when mental health is going to hit you. No, that's literally what it is. And
it's while you can take your happy days, and if it doesn't ever hit you, I hope that can be for everyone. But 100%. Obviously, we all know it's not. So it's just take those days as they come, and find some mechanisms to help yourself.
1,000,000%. I'm hoping as well someone listening to this, maybe they're in a position where they need to hear it as well. That obviously that you said to yourself that if you went through some really crap times all at once in a way, and hopefully someone listening to this that maybe doing something similar, it might help them as well. That there is, I always say it, there is light into the tunnel, but it's so cliche saying that, because sometimes you don't know it's going to be. But there is. But you've just got to kind of do what you need to do as well. Like you say, you've done a bit of therapy. You've tried different things and different stuff, and you've done so amazing, Anthony. Honestly, to be here and sat on this sofa right now talking to you about this is incredible in itself. Because if you didn't do certain things, things could be different, and it's scary to think about that. But I am proud of you for being here. And
thanks, man. Cheers. And I mean, I can only give it back to you in the pride of what you've achieved, what you've done so far with all the football tournaments, the work you do. This podcast, and I hope you just keep going, man, because it's great to see you.
I appreciate it.
You like it. So.
Yeah. Before we finish up and I say goodbye to you, as you know, I spoke about it before this episode started, and obviously we've done it for a few people already. We have started a playlist on Spotify. Might do Apple Music as well. I'm only doing Spotify at the moment, called the Conn'Cast Podcast playlist. And as I spoke to you already, it's basically each guest that comes on, they give me a song that's helped them with their mental health, or just means a lot to them in general, and hopefully it'll help you guys as well. Maybe listen to it and you go, oh wow, I've never heard this band or artist or whatever before, and it's I really love it. So enough of me yapping. What is it, Anthony? What have you got yours?
The song's a little bit heavier, but it's called Onsra by Ocean's 8 Alaska. And Onsra is actually taken from a religion in Asia where it means the fear of letting go.
Wow.
So it does have ties to the song, but I'm hoping it will help some of the people out as well.
I was not expecting that. Yeah. That's wicked. Yeah, obviously send it to me and you link it and stuff, because I'll put it in there. Yeah, I'll add it to the playlist. Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, cool. No, thanks for that. I think that is it really. I feel like you've really said what you're gonna say. Is there anything else you want to say to the camera? But I feel like you've said, I think you basically summed up a minute ago.
Yeah.
About you kind of concluded your whole episode. So that is it, if you're happy with that.
No, honestly, yeah, it's been a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having me on and taking the time out and stuff.
Oh, 100%. You're taking time out for me this evening. I appreciate it. And thank you for coming on. Like I say, I said it last episode, we are always on the lookout for more guests as well. So please do come on if you're interested, or if you're kind of sitting on the fence, you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to come on, I'm not interesting enough. You are, and you matter, and your story matters. So please do come on. I'm hoping it's helped Anthony being here today.
Yeah, it's been great.
It's good sometimes just let it out and just talk about things. Sometimes it's the sort of thing that people don't talk about normally. When if you have a podcast and it's literally about opening up, it makes it that bit easier, I feel like.
Yeah, you've got the right kind of pressure to just...
I'm not kind of like,
over.
Tell me.
No,
it's kind of, I hope I'm not. Honestly, I always say to my guests as well, there's no pressure, so it's whatever you feel comfortable with. And if you're not happy with something, I can always cut it as well. It's the whole reason we do a podcast, it's pre-recorded. So that's enough of me yapping. This has been Finn, this has been Anthony, and... thank you for coming on, and and I'll see you all guys next Sunday at 7 p.m. See you later. Bye.